Come on.
All right. I personally think we have enough negativity in the world, so while words can certainly be both destructive and constructive, today I'm focusing on constructive. Specifically, how words can be both directly and indirectly constructive. For my first story, it comes from an unlikely place. I was at the optometrist of all places. This was my sophomore year of high school, and as soon as I walked in, my optometrist, Dr. Shafron, asked me, "So, what are you going to be majoring in college? It's coming up." Now, I don't know if any of you guys were frustrated with that question when you were in high school, but I was completely done with it. So I said to him, "Why is everybody asking me what I want to do with the rest of my life? I barely know what I want for breakfast, for heaven's sake." So he laughed a bit and he looked at me and said, "Well, what do you like to do?" I told him, "I love music, but I also feel like I'm being led to work with special needs kids." He said, "Well, have you considered music therapy?" My response, "That's a thing. That's a thing I can make money for?" He said, "Yeah." Well, I guess that's what I'm doing. So somehow God used my optometrist, of all people, to put me on the track that I'm currently feeling I'm being led. The other story is a bit more, it's a lot more indirect, but it's a bit more personal. As I said in my first speech, I worked in Awana for 6 years. And as a result, I've worked with some of the more difficult children, the ones who needed one-on-one attention rather than simply being one of the class. One year, I was put in charge of a little girl named Hannah. Hannah is high on the autism spectrum. Even to this day, she's largely nonverbal. She gets frustrated easily when she can't speak. Her mother is frequently run ragged trying to take care of both her and her older brother, who's ADHD. And to make matters worse, the Memorial Day before this story happened, her father had been killed in a car accident. So, as a result, I barely heard from these people. All I know is that the entire family was in a state of shock. It was very sudden, too. He was turning down this boulevard, and a police car was coming by, and he apparently didn't hear the siren, and it just T-boned him, and he was dead on impact. So, we tried to be as welcoming as possible. I frequently texted the mother. I said, "If you need anything, let me know." And it was a big toss-up whether or not they were going to be coming back to church. Because it was especially hard because she was in such a state of shock. Like her cousin, who also went to our church, said she's really questioning why God would do this. So, first night of Awana for the school year, and my mother and I were just discussing whether or not certain people would show up. And all of a sudden, in walks this mother with Hannah. Hannah comes to me because I spent the most time with her. And I said to her, "Hannah, I'm so happy to see you. I missed you so much." And Hannah, who was still largely nonverbal, just walks up to me and says, "I missed you too." Her mother starts bawling, and we asked her why, and she said, that was the first time Hannah's spoken in a full sentence. That set us all crying. So, Hannah may never realize it, but working with her and seeing her grow that much, that made me feel so led to work with special needs children. So, she's impacted my life in ways she'll never know. Thank you.